All right, now these are players we'd stay away from. I mean, you talked about Grant, correct?
Yes, Grant. Yep, Charles Grant.
And I think this guy, he's a former first-round pick. And for some reason, people in Madden, they want to fix this guy. They want to be the guy to rebuild his career. And I just don't see it happening, especially in this year with his own coverage and accuracy really important this year. Maybe in previous years it would have been tempting, but not this year because Jamarcus Russell, his throw power is a 97, but his throw accuracy overall is a 64, short accuracy 64, mid is 61, so he can't throw a mid ball worth anything. And then his deep accuracy is even worse, it's a 62, so I don't see, I mean, he's a 60 on the run. I don't see anything that says take this guy.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Russell has been a thrown off the boat quarterback. Yeah, he's only 25 years old, but you know his A potential is, he has nothing. His potential is garbage. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was been in the past, but you know you're not going to really fix him over these years.
I think he was a B last year, but the most I could see him being was a C. Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah, you could definitely get better. I mean, there's better quarterbacks on the market, like you said. You know, Troy Smith would be probably a little bit better option, but yeah, I would definitely stay away from Marcus Russell.
I mean, he's a 63 overall, so even if he's a C potential, he's only going to go up to 70. If that, his accuracy is not going to improve enough to really bowl the start. I mean, like I said, maybe in previous years when the zone didn't matter, I mean, accuracy didn't matter so much, but this year the zone really does matter. So I would stay away from him. That's my number one guy to stay away from.
Definitely. Now, did you want to go over, did you want to reiterate?
I was just saying, like, these are guys I would stay away from because, I mean, but I think somebody will take a chance on Jamarcus just because there's not too many good corners. Wait till the draft. I mean, if you need a quarterback, wait till the draft.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to go over a couple players that you think that would be a little bit of a sleeper versus, you know, somebody that can come out of nowhere. Is that what you want to talk about?
That's good.
All right. You can go first.
I mean, we already kind of hit on it a little bit. Kevin Curtis would be a good option as a sleeper because you can get him so much cheaper. He can be a good slot. We talked about him. There's lots of good linemen, so the linemen are going to slip some. I mean, we talked about that. Just in general, don't overpay for a guy just because you need him because there's always the draft. I mean, do you see any sleepers that are sticking out to you?
A center called Jake Grove. He's 7 years experience. I had him a few years in Saints in 11. He really held the line together. He's only 30 years old, 6'4", 300 pounds. His awareness is an 81.
Yeah.
What do you got? I'm gonna check his other stats. Here we go. All right, now his pass block's an 88. His run block's a little bit low, 69. His run block strength is a 90. He could definitely fill in for someone that's not doing the job or even start for you.
There's always guys who play better than their overall, so there's always those guys. A guy I like is this corner named Bruce Johnson. He's out of Miami, 2 years experience. He's got 82 man coverage and 76 zone, which isn't great, but we're talking about deep sleepers here. So that's a guy I might take a chance on, and I don't know his potential, but like he's still young, and he's a 75. So that's a cheap corner I think you could get, who you could plug in immediately at, say, your third corner, or you could sit on your bench.
Definitely. Yeah, Bruce Johnson, he's only got 2 years experience. What stands out is his 93 speed, so he could definitely run with some of your faster wide receivers.
Yes.
A 91 agility, his 93 acceleration. He could definitely be a B potential. He could easily, in a couple of years, be a number 2 cornerback in this league.
Yeah, I agree. That's my sleeper that I really saw. There's a couple years ago, speed was really a thing with linebackers. I would steer away from that. There's some speedy linebackers, but no one really that I see.
Do you think T.J. Houshmandzadeh would be considered a sleeper? I know he's a name brand player.
Yeah.
He was with the Ravens last year. He's only 32 years old. I mean, that's not old. He could fit into a number 3 role. His catching's an 85. His route running's an 86. Catching traffic is a 90. Spectacular catch is a 74. So,
yeah,
he's not going to move. His overall's not going to move on you. But a team like, let's say, Tennessee Titans are looking for, another help for Chris Johnson, could definitely use a T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
Right. Again, it sounds silly to mention him as a sleeper, but people are going to go after the big names, the Terrell Owens, and I think a guy like T.J. Houshmandzadeh might slide under the radar just a bit, and he's still valuable.
Definitely. Sam Bradford could use another weapon in St. Louis. St. Louis is very low on weapons, and Houshmandzadeh would definitely fit with that team.
Yeah, having Josh McDaniels' playbook, you're going to need to throw the ball some, and like you said, having another wide receiver would be very valuable.
Definitely.
I don't see any other wide receivers really, unless you really want a project. I mean, there's always those projects that you could take, but we're talking about guys that might be able to help you out right now that people aren't thinking about.
I actually see a running back that I picked up off of waivers in that at 11. Garrett Wolfe, he used to play for the Bears. He's a 5'7", 185-pound back. He filled in for me for one. Yeah, he's small. He's only rated a 65. He's 27 years old. He's got a 91 speed. He's got a 93 acceleration and a 93 agility. Real small back. I remember him fitting in for one game for me, and it kind of threw the owner off because I was without AP for a couple of weeks, and I remember the owner could see that I was using a 5'7" back, and he would just get lost behind the O lineman, and I actually almost think he came out with like 80 yards rushing, and he's just somebody that you could fit in for a 1 week hit,
Again, that fits what we're trying to say here is some guys play better than their Madden overall ratings. It's just, do you know the guy? Are you comfortable using him? And can he help your team? And like Tiki Barber, he's gonna go and he's gonna get his money and people are gonna bid on him, but these are guys that you can get late. That Lawrence Maroney, he's very interesting to me too. Maybe that's just me, but like Manny was talking earlier, if I need a bruiser back, they can get me a few yards because Best is not that type of guy. Maroney's interesting at that slot. He's
and you still got Lendell White there for your power back also.
Right.
He's gonna definitely get you. You need that 1 yard. He's definitely a guy that come in and pound that rock for you.
I would stay away from Quentin Portis. I mean, he's just had so many injuries. I don't see. I don't see anything. Maybe Brian Westbrook, but more as a passing running back than a real featured back. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Another middle linebacker veteran, 11 years, Dhani Jones with the Cincinnati Bengals. He's 33. He's got an 87. What is his overall? His overall is where's his overall? He's a 79. So that's not bad for a middle linebacker.
That's not bad.
His speed's a 76, 74 strength, a 78 agility. And this guy could come in and fill a void that you have an injury, maybe like I don't want to say jinx the 49ers, but 49ers middle back linebacker. I won't say his name, so I don't jinx him, knock on wood. But someone that, could come in and just fill that void for 1 or 2 weeks,
Right. There's gonna be injuries in this league. I mean, it happens in real. And like I said, the first year of Madden, it just seems to happen more and more. So these are guys that you could target late, not pay a lot of money for, and they wouldn't ruin your piggy bank. You wouldn't have to spend.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you start adding up injuries, the free agent market is going to help your team, positive or negatively. If you hit on guys on a positive aspect in free agency and the guys that are coming off the street, they're going to keep your team rolling. But if you start missing, you could dig yourself a deep hole, you know. Is that the way you see things?
That's the way I see things. And we're talking about free agency, but we got about 4 minutes here. Let's talk a little about the trade, because you'll look at a guy's roster, like, I know the Lions have a lot of DTs, and the Saints have a lot of DTs. That might be something a guy who needs a DT would do. Instead of paying big money to Pat Williams, who's going to retire, he says, well, maybe I can pay maybe I can pay Stock or Logan just that price or even less and get a guy that's, you can develop.
Yeah, my theory is you want to go a little bit of both. You definitely want to go towards the trade market, and then you want to dive into the free agency and kind of mix it up a little bit. That's the way I go. Right. Different owners are going to do different things, because if you trade some pieces that can hurt your team, and you may not be able to come back to that. At least with the free agency, you can kind of add and drop the guys that that aren't playing and aren't contributing, and you can test them. Versus when you trade a player, he's gone. He's out of your team,
Yeah. So I'm going to throw some names out there, and you tell me the judgment. Would you take him or not? Darren Sharper.
As a Saints owner, he would be he would be a great backup for me. Backup option, maybe a 1 or 2 week fill in for an injury.
I'll throw a team and the player out and see if you would take them. Okay, let's start with that. The last 5 minutes for something fun to do. Jake Delhomme, would you take him if you're the Redskins? He's probably better than Beck.
Yeah, I don't think I would if I was a Redskin owner. I think I would ride the ship with both Grossman and Beck. I think Beck has some potential that people don't know about and could definitely help.
Mm-hmm. What about Buckholzer if you were the Jags? He does need a backup because Jennings looks like he's injured, but man, you get to use Jennings. But let's just assume for some reason he can't use Jennings or wants another running back. Would you pick up Buckholzer?
The Jacksonville they would probably be more prone to a speedier back and a little bit more outside the tackles running back than Jones-Drew. Jennings is somewhat of a power back, so I would be inclined to be no. Jacksonville would be great for someone that's speed to hit the outsides.
So the Tennessee Titans, would you take Randall L?
Tennessee would be a great fit with Randall L in the slot. You got Kenny Britt on one side, and I'm not too sure what they have on the other side. They got Cook as a tight end.
I know they have this young wide receiver like Darren Williams or something like that from UFC, but he's a possession type receiver, so maybe his speed would help out there.
Yeah, Tennessee would definitely help out with Randall L and Hasselbeck and moving those chains on those 3rd and 3s.
Okay, where do you see Darren Sharper going? Let's just talk about the bigger names and we'll do a little prediction, and you can do the same with me.
Sharper could definitely go anywhere. The Patriots they released Merriweather today, so they have a void there. He could almost fit in. He actually could go back to the Vikings. The Vikings could use one.
Well, that's about all the time we have. I hope you like the show. We might do another segment. We're debating on what to do. We don't want to make it too long, but if you guys
exactly.
Last time you guys really liked it, so maybe we'll do another segment. Maybe we won't. That's it for this one, though. Take care, guys.
Later, guys.